Welcome back, everybody, to Module 0, Lesson 4. Again, this is a pre-recorded lesson. Hopefully, you're watching this after Module 0, Lesson 3. A quick recap of everything. There are some assignments due on the course homepage. Let me show you that right now. So this is the course homepage. And these 3 assignments you should already know about. There's going to be a new assignment called the Evidence Organizer assignment. The due date on that is September 10th before midnight. All the due dates are right here. These are for grades, these 4. So please turn them in. Progress reports go out this Friday. So get them turned in so I have a grade to show to you and your parents, okay? And if you're having trouble with the assignment, just let me know. And also read the instructions before you do the assignment, please, okay? So get those turned in for me. So again, today is about Module 0, Lesson 4. And this is a very important lesson, so make sure you pay attention, okay? Okay, let's get started. So again, at the beginning of every lesson is the poem. And this is around the 4th time that we've read this through. You should be understanding the poem a lot more and understanding what the poem is saying to you and what the poem is about. Again, the hard copy of the poem and the audio version is on the folder, is in the folders of the dates. So look for those and listen to it. But the intro to this lesson, I want you all to look through the poem right now and pick out a line that best shows the speaker's relationship to reading, okay? This is basically what we did last lesson, in lesson 3. We examined the speaker's relationship to reading, but I want you to go back through the poem right now and just pick out one line that you think best shows the speaker's relationship to reading, okay? So pause this video, do that for me now, and then whenever you're done, come back, okay? Okay, so hopefully you picked out a line from the poem. Again, there's no wrong or right answers. It's basically what you think is the most important line, okay? So in my opinion, I picked out the line wherever she's sitting in the Great Glider and she says, she dreamed of a world far away. I chose this one because it shows exactly what reading means to the speaker. She's able to go into the books that she's reading and imagine that she's in that book, right? She's using her imagination. She's using books and reading as an escape from her regular, normal life. And whenever she reads, she feels safe, she feels comfortable, and she's able to basically transport herself to a new world. And that's a very important thing to do whenever you're reading. And if you want, you can pick that line and put that under your response journal tab in your digital notebook. Again, that digital notebook is just for you to use as a resource. You know, whenever later on in the school, if you want to go back and see what we were doing in the beginning, and use that as like a refresher to remind yourself what we've learned so far. That's a great tool to have. Again, I do look through those digital notebooks. Those aren't for a grade. Again, that's just for you. I just look through them to see your progress and see if there's anything else that I could help you on or explain a little bit better. Okay, so you can do that if you want. But next is the important questions, you know, the questions that we can't escape in this module. So again, the essential question is still the same. It's how do we build knowledge through reading? At this point, you should have a guess how to answer this question, right? We're almost done with the module. We're on lesson 4 out of 6. You should have a grasp on the answer to this question. The next one is the focusing question. What does reading mean to the speaker in the poem? Honestly, you should already have the answer to this question because that's what we did in lesson 3, right? We examined individual parts of the poem and analyzed it and learned what reading and books mean to the speaker, right? And the content framing question for this lesson is obviously different as it has been for the past 3 lessons. The content framing question for lesson 4 is what are the themes of the poem? So as you can tell, the main idea that we're trying to learn today is themes. And by the end of this lesson, you should be able to answer the content framing question and know what the themes of the poem is. So again, theme. That is the main idea today. I want you, well, hopefully you're familiar with the word theme and you've heard it before and you've had to examine what the theme of any text that you're reading is. So I want you to pause the video and just think about what you think theme means, okay? So I'm gonna give you a second to do that and then come back to this video whenever you're done brainstorming. Okay, so theme. So last lesson, what we basically did was figure out what the last two lessons is we basically figured out what the topic of the poem was. And what topic is basically what the work is about, the text, and what is literally being said in the text, and basically the summary or the plot of the text that we're reading. So that's what we did the last two lessons. And you need to know what the topic is for you to be able to understand what the theme is, right? And that's what we're going to be doing this lesson. A theme is basically a message or main idea that the text conveys about the topic, right? So again, theme is the underlying message of the text or the big idea of the text. Again, theme has a lot of different words. Basically, theme can be also described as central message or central idea. It is the essential meaning of the text. It's basically what the author wants you to take away from the text and use as a life lesson, you know, what you've learned throughout it. And texts often have many different themes. There could be a couple. And this lesson will be about analyzing the different themes in this poem, okay? Some examples of themes that you find throughout different texts could be, you know, love is more powerful than hate. Another example is like too much pride will lead to a downfall. Like those examples present a big idea about life, right? And the world around you and human nature, you know, how we are as humans. So that's basically what theme is. And hopefully you're slowly starting to get that. By the end of the lesson, it should, you know, you should fully grasp it. If not, we'll just let me know and then we can keep working on it together, okay? Next, we're going to be working on some sentence frames. You know, in the previous lesson that we did, we, you know, explored and summarized the topic of reading in the poem and what it meant to the speaker. You know, we looked at the events happening in the poem that was related to reading and the relationship the speaker has to reading, right? And what it means to her. So what we're going to do is, yeah, that's exactly what I said. That's what we did last. And then we're going to start building more on that, okay? So there is a Padlet link right here. Let me click on it for you. And it's going to pull up this way. Right here, it says complete the sentence frame. And there's two sentence frames here. It says reading is more important to the speaker because blank, or reading is important to the speaker because blank. The second sentence frame is reading is important because blank, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to click plus, write your name right here. So I'm gonna put like Mr. Kang, and then write out the sentence frame and answer it for me, because and then reading is important because blah blah blah. You know, just do that for me. And let me see what's next. Sorry, okay. So the sentence frames. Sentence frames I think are really important because it basically helps you just get the main ideas across, you know. And we've been doing the sentence frames for majority of this module. So hopefully you find it very useful and you like doing sentence frames. And while you're doing that, I want you to think about those two sentence frames I provided for you and tell me what you think the difference between the sentence frames you wrote, the first one and the second one, you know? Let me pull it back up again. Oh, right here, right? Look at both the sentence frames and tell me what you think the difference is, okay? So I'm gonna give you a couple seconds to do that. Pause this video, think about it, and come back whenever you're done brainstorming, okay? Okay, so hopefully you have thought it out and you came up with your own answer. In my opinion, the biggest difference between those two is the first sentence frame has more to do about the aspect of reading that's important in the book, right? Or the poem that we're reading. And the second one is more generalized. It's about what's important in everyday life and in the world around you currently, right? So again, do that sentence frame for me. It basically is just going back into what the topic of reading is like, because that's one of the biggest that is like the biggest topic in this entire poem is reading and books and and the speaker's relationship to reading, right? Okay, so next, this is the craft question and the quick write assignment. Again, we always have a craft question in each lesson. The question basically helps you, it helps guide the activities that we're doing. The content framing question guides the lesson. Craft questions sort of guide the activities. So this craft question is, how do I write about a poem for my librarian, Mrs. Long, right? How do I write about this? Okay, so we're gonna do a quick write assignment. So click that link that I gave you. And what you're gonna do is on that link, you're gonna write 3 to 4 sentences. And again, like every other quick write assignment, you don't have to worry about spelling or grammar, but please write in full sentences and please answer the questions. So here is the assignment or the activity for this lesson. So again, the instructions are here. Write 3 or 4 sentences to answer the following questions. And here are the questions is what is one of the poem's themes? What evidence from the poem conveys this message or develops this idea? And then why is this theme important in general? And if you're having trouble getting started in answering these questions, you can use the sentence frame that I provided for you below. So the sentence frame is, the poem's main message about reading is blank, the evidence blank, and there should be another blank here. There we go. The evidence blank and blank helps reader understand about reading, right? So what you're gonna do is come here, or even on like a new side, write your name, and then either answer the question in 3 to 4 sentences, or use that sentence frame. Whichever you want to do, you can. And that's basically gonna show me that you're slowly coming up with poem themes for yourself. Because later on, I will tell you what some of the themes in the poems are, but I want you to try to develop and analyze the text for yourself, if that makes sense. Okay, so do that for me. Pause this video, do that for me, and then whenever you're done, come back, okay? So I'm gonna give you a couple seconds to do that. Okay, so welcome back. Hopefully you did that assignment for me. So I'm gonna go over what I wrote down. There are a lot of themes in this poem, right? One of the biggest themes that I found throughout this poem is that, here's what I wrote down. Reading can open you up to new ideas and new worlds, right? So again, like I said before, there's always a topic and then there's the theme. Topic is what the poem is about, and the theme is basically what the meaning of the poem is and what the text conveys about the topic. So the topic of this poem is reading and books and the speaker's relationship to reading. And the theme related to that is reading can open you up to new ideas and new worlds. So like I said earlier, theme is the main idea or the big idea of the text, right? And it presents an idea about life, the world, and human nature. Themes can teach you life lessons. So that's why I think one of the themes is in this poem is reading can open you up to new ideas and new worlds. And how I figured out that theme is by collecting evidence throughout the text and analyzing each paragraph stanza. And you could easily tell that it's a theme just by looking at certain lines. So the line that I picked in the beginning of what is the most important line to me that represents the speaker's relationship with reading, remember I picked out that it says, she dreamed of a world far away, right? And then directly under that, it says she was comfortable, she was safe, she was happy, right? Whenever the speaker reads, her imagination runs wild, and she's able to put herself in the book and come up with new ideas and new worlds that she's in, and she uses it as an escape. So that's why I thought that meant one of the themes is reading can open you up to new ideas, new worlds. Again, that's not the only theme that's in this poem. Some other themes are like books are to be treasured and valued as items. Adults, they have a big imprint or impact on children's lives, and they can open up their eyes to the world by providing them with opportunities, like what Mrs. Long did to the speaker. She gave her new books. She was willing to go through hard times to make sure the speaker got the books that she wanted, and opened her up to new experiences. Feeling safe, loved, and happy can protect the child from harsher realities in their lives. Like in this poem, there's some racism, some segregation. So that's another theme. And then one of the other themes I found was learning can take place in so many different settings, and it's not just limited in a classroom or in a school, right? Because she's learning through just reading. There's no mention of her being in school or in a class throughout this poem, but she's reading and she's still learning, right? So those are just some of the themes in this poem. Hopefully you wrote down one of those, or if you came up with your own and you got the evidence to support that, that is great. That is perfect. That means you are getting a grasp on what we're learning here. Okay, so obviously I'm going to look through that PowerPoint and see what everyone is writing down. But next is another assignment. I know there's a lot of assignments due, but I promise these are very easy assignments, and it shouldn't take that long for y'all to do. So for the graphic organizers assignment, that one's the one I showed you earlier. You need to just gather and analyze evidence to determine the theme. And that's what you need to do to be able to determine a theme in the text, is to gather and analyze evidence throughout it. We do this by annotating, right? We learned what annotating was, I think in lesson 2. I think that's the lesson. So if you didn't watch lesson 2, please go back and watch that lesson video, because I taught the class how to annotate the text while they're reading. So you need to go back and do that. But that's what this assignment is about, is you reading through the text and gathering and analyzing the information. So again, collect evidence from the text, and use that evidence to analyze important ideas that the poem conveys about reading. And then, evidence organizers or graphic organizers are important because they help you to capture evidence, connect your thinking, and organize your observations. It puts all your thoughts and ideas into one place and helps you quickly see, what you're thinking about the text while you're reading. It's also remember, it's on the course homepage. Click on it. There's instructions. There's also a video on how to do it. So look through that, get that turned in for me, okay? So that's basically it. Again, the content framing question, let's go back to the important questions in the beginning. Again, the content framing question for this lesson was, what are the themes of the poem, right? And hopefully we answered this question by doing the quick write assignment, and hopefully you're slowly starting to grasp what a theme is. I think we're going to do more activities about themes so you can fully grasp it, because theme is very important, because that is the essential meaning of the text. And if you're not understanding the themes or the essential meaning of the text, then that just means you're not grasping the poem that we're reading. Okay? Let's see. Let me get back to that slide. Again, content framing question, we answered it with you doing that quick write. And I'll tell you a couple of themes that I pulled from the poem as well, so you could use those themes as well. And again, as always, if you have any thoughts, questions, concerns, let me know. Message me on Schoology, email me, or go to the question board with anything. And I will always try to answer as quick as possible, okay? But other than that, I think that is it. That is it for Module 0, Lesson 4. Hopefully you grasp what theme is, and you're slowly starting to get what this poem is truly about. And if you have questions, let me know. But other than that, I will see you for the next lesson. Bye.